This is Heather B. Live.
Thank you. On right now. This is Heather B. It's heads only. How I felt about the rap game. Who am I? Heather B. I can't deny. Oh, rude boy, big up. Now hear this. And if they don't know, I'm here to tell them.
Yo, sound man.
Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Heather B. Live Crew, SiriusXM Urban View family. It's your girl, Reecie Colbert, filling in for the one and only Heather B. And I have to say happy holidays. It's Thankful Thursday, brought to you by AARP. To learn more about how AARP is helping the community thrive, visit aarp.com/Black community. I am especially thankful this Thursday because there has been some incredible news that I will share a little bit later on in the show that I think we all have a great reason to rejoice for. But before we get into the news of the day, I have to say hello to the Heather B. Live production crew. Yaya, how you doing, girlfriend?
Happy Friday Eve.
Yes. Happy Friday.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Is that your theme song? It kind of faded out a little bit for me. Did you get your theme song yet?
I did.
It's the yeah. Is it that one?
It is.
Okay. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hey, Amina.
Hey, Reecie. How are you?
I'm good. I love that. This theme song, y'all are such an inspiration to me. I need a theme song. I'm gonna work on it. I don't know if any songs have Reecie in it, but that's my mission, my research mission. Hey, Stephanie.
What's up? How's it going?
I'm good. I'm trying to croon like Stephanie. Okay. So, ladies, I know you guys have heard the news today about Brittany Griner being released from Russia in a prisoner swap. Sherelle Griner, Brittany Griner's wife, was at the White House today giving remarks with President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and I believe that was the National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, but it could have been Anthony Blinken. I'm not sure. I don't remember off the top of my head. But how are we feeling about this news today, ladies? Anybody jump in?
I think it's great news. I've been seeing a lot of right-wing people on Twitter complaining, but I don't care about it, actually.
Exactly. Let them complain. You know, and somebody's going to complain no matter what. They were complaining that not enough was being done. And then when kind of some of the news started to be reported about the kinds of deals that were a possibility, people were complaining about the deals. So if you haven't heard the news, Brittany Griner, who is a WNBA star who has been wrongfully detained, the State Department classified her as wrongfully detained for 9 months in Russia, who was in inhumane and cruel conditions in a Russian, basically slave labor camp, has been released in a prisoner swap for Victor Bout. Now, I do want to address some of the particulars about this because there has been some pushback, and it hasn't just been right-wingers either. To be honest, I've seen some Black folks push back on it. And so I want to address something that I feel like a lot of people are really not getting. I understand that Victor Bout has the reputation, or his moniker is the quote unquote merchant of death. And a lot of the pushback that I've seen is, oh, we trading an arms dealer for an NBA star. That ain't right. Let's just be clear about something. Victor Bout was not in prison in the United States for a life sentence. He was not in prison for murder. He was in prison for a 25-year sentence. However, he's already been in jail since 2010, and he was scheduled to be released in 2029. So he was not even scheduled to do a full 25-year sentence. So the reality is that we are trading in a person who was scheduled for release in 2029. We days away from 2023. So do the math, 6 years from now, for a woman who was facing 10 years of wrongful detention in Russia. So I don't want to hear nothing about something y'all just learned 2 seconds ago, calling a merchant of death, when the reality is he was getting out of jail anyway. And to be honest, we're actually kind of lucky that we got this deal made, because Russia could have just kept Brittany in prison just for S's and G's. They could have run out the clock on Victor Bout, but we got this deal. And this was the only deal. Let me also be clear about that. That was on the table. The Biden-Harris administration tried to get Paul Whelan, who was a former Marine, as part of the deal, and Russia was not willing to play ball because he's in jail for what he's been convicted for, a more serious offense. They felt like he was spying. And then the other thing I just want to mention too is, if you didn't say anything about the name Konstantin Yaroshenko when he was swapped for Trevor Reed, I don't want to hear nothing about Victor Bout. I don't want to hear it, because nobody was worried about the particulars of prisoner swaps when it was other people getting swapped out. But now all of a sudden, when a Black woman, a prominent Black woman, is being swapped out, now everybody is so concerned about the particulars. And let's also be clear, Konstantin Yaroshenko was doing a 20-year sentence himself, and he was swapped about halfway through his 20-year sentence. And I didn't hear boo about that. And for people to say, well, you know, we're swapping an arms dealer for a person who was in jail for weed. Let's also be clear. What Trevor Reed was convicted of was for partying in Russia. He was not convicted of a serious crime either, but he was also a political prisoner. So you have to understand, we're not talking proportionality. We don't have some random Joe Schmo in a U.S. prison somewhere that's in jail for weed to trade for Brittany Griner. That's not how this works. So I'm personally not going to let y'all steal my joy on the fact that this Black woman is coming home after an unjust imprisonment, a political imprisonment in Russia. But I just had to get some facts out there. Call in 866-801-8255 if you have thoughts on the Brittany Griner situation. Ladies, do you guys have anything to add?
No, I think you really said it well. I remember when Nola Haynes was on when you hosted for Clay, and she was laying out this just as you just did. So yeah, I think people need to know their lane pretty much.
Exactly. And there was a football player who was, saying what President Biden left a Marine behind. Hell no. And he got dragged. First of all, the white supremacists jumped on his train. Yay. They so happy to see him dragging Brittany Griner. And then when he backtracked and apologized, then of course they backtrack on their support and were dragging him. But let's just be clear. He didn't leave Paul Whelan behind. A deal takes two parties to agree to. It takes the Russians who don't play fair. Y'all do remember they're in a whole war with Ukraine that's unjustified, violating their sovereignty, killing people, even children, civilians. So we're not talking about a country that fights fair. So if you don't know, then just educate yourself on the facts of the case, and just be quiet, please. Just be quiet. If you can't celebrate, just be quiet. So again, 866-801-8255. But I do want to lighten it up a little bit, because before the news about Brittany Griner came out, I was thinking about this Soul Food Thursday. Now, I don't know why I keep asked to be doing the hosting, filling in on Soul Food Thursday when y'all know I don't cook. Y'all know I ain't got enough recipes to bring to the table. However, I think recipes have a number of uses. You have recipes for food. I have recipes for fun. How about that? I got recipes for fun. And Christmas is one of my favorite times of the year because of Christmas music. And so I do want to share some of my favorite Christmas stuff. But before I do that, we got some calls coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the calls, but keep that in mind. I want y'all on the line to think about some of your favorite Christmas tunes. And I want you to think of some of your favorite contemporary Christmas tunes, because we know that there are songs that get redone 11 million ways, and I love them all. So I want you to call in too on that. But before we get to my little Christmas recipe segment, let's go to some of the calls. Dan in Ohio. Hey, Dan, how you doing today?
Good. Thank you for taking the call. I read the news. I don't have any social networks, nothing to do with me being on there myself, but I read the news, and I I'm reading about Don Trump Jr. and his dad and how upset they are about Brittany Griner being released over this arms dealer.
Mhm.
And it's another example. It's another example of racism from the Trumps. It has nothing to do with that arms dealer, because they are up to their eyeballs in crimes themselves. So when they come out, and if you look at the news today about the comments that Junior and his maggot dad are making, it is just smack down in your face racism.
Thank you, Dan,
All
for pointing that out. Thank you, Dan, for pointing out. And let's also point out that Jared Kushner got $2 billion from the Saudis. Hello. So let's not talk about, arms deals and none of that stuff and the moral high ground. I definitely do not have that for the Trump people. And let me also point out to anybody who has any illusions, I've heard this before months ago, Trump would have been got her out. That was a common talking point. Trump did not get not one single solitary doggone political prisoner out. Trevor Reed and Paul Whelan were being wrongfully detained in Russia while Trump was the president, and he was too busy buddying up to Putin. And on top of all that, he flat out said that that Brittany Griner deserved to be detained. So anybody out there who wants to ever give Trump credit for getting prisoners released, he didn't get that. And anybody who wants to act like Trump would have been an ally to Brittany Griner, that's definitely not true. Let's go to Bishop McCray in South Carolina. Hey, Bishop.
Hey, Reece, what's going on?
Not much. What's up with you?
Warnock, number one.
Woo, yes. We're still celebrating that.
Girl, I'm still celebrating. I'm happy as a lark. You hear me?
Oh, me too.
Yes. Hey, listen, I know I'm going to different take with this Brittany Griner thing. I'm glad she's coming home. They can say what they want. They can be pissed off and mad. The situation is, if it was their child, husband, wife coming home, they wouldn't give a flip who you were swapping for.
Hello.
My child was coming home.
Exactly.
And that's what folk need to look at. All these folk talking about she shouldn't be this and it was wrong deal and it was a bad swap. I tell you what, if it been your child coming home, you'd be celebrating.
Well,
you wouldn't be caring about who fight for.
And I would also like to know, well, who should they have swapped for? Name somebody specifically. Be specific. If you feel like it was a bad deal, what's a good deal? Do you know? Or do you just respond to what you're seeing because you see a catchy name like the Merchant of Death, and now you think you are expert on the merits of the deal? Come on. But thank you, Bishop, for reminding people that this is someone's child. This is someone's wife. This is somebody's friend. This is a person who has been an upstanding citizen who was being wrongfully detained. I cannot emphasize that enough. A lot of people want to talk about, well, she shouldn't have had weed. She shouldn't have had that. The bottom line is that the State Department classified her as wrongfully detained, and nobody should be able to justify that. So thank you so much, Bishop. Let's go to Mark in Colorado. Hey, Mark. Are you there? Mark? Okay, we're going to give Mark a chance to get his line together. Let's go to Lee in Tennessee.
How you doing, Ms. Reecie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I was on Twitter and I was listening in the background. I said, is that Reece on my airwaves? But anyway, I'm a veteran. So to see people talk about Paul Whelan to me is, I'm not going to say hilarious, but I shake my head at it. And as I was just explaining to someone on Twitter, I said, me being a veteran doesn't allow me or grant me more rights than you. The privileges I have, I earned those. So I say to say, if the Russians at this point will only accept the Merchant of Death for BG, we should make the deal. I've never seen so many people be pro-anti-Russian. Well, I could say pro-Russian until it involved a Black woman. But that's all I want to say. I'm glad you're on my airways, and that's it. I hope you be blessed now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And look, this might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. According to reports, Paul Whelan, they want to talk about him being a Marine and why that should give him some sort of precedence. But y'all do know that he was given a bad conduct discharge in December 2008. Okay. I'm not saying that justifies his detainment in Russia, but I just want to put that out there because people act like, Brittany Griner is some kind of weed smoking degenerate and Paul Whelan is a saint and she's being overlooked for that. Now, I don't think that his dishonorable or bad conduct discharge from the Marine has any bearing on the amount of efforts that the administration is putting forth to try to get him home, because by all accounts, they tried to make a deal, but he was convicted of far more serious charges. He has a 20-year sentence in Russia, and Russia flat out said no deal. Even after they said no deal with Paul Whelan, the administration still tried to make that deal. So let's just put aside any notion that he was cast aside because he was a Marine or that he's been done wrong because he's a Marine, at least from the American perspective, the United States perspective, because that's just flat out false. And I'd also like to point out that Paul Whelan's family was happy to see this deal being made for Brittany Griner. And they said, take the deal that you can get, as opposed to saying, keeping her locked up on the hope that they can get Paul Whelan out. So I appreciate that solidarity that the Paul Whelan family is putting out there. And like I said, I'm not saying anything to disparage Paul Whelan. I'm just saying, let's not act like Brittany Griner ain't shit and Paul Whelan is somebody who was just being cast aside in her favor. Let's not do that. Let's go back to Mark in Colorado. Hey, Mark.
Yes, how you doing, Reecie? Thank you. I'm sorry about earlier.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I am calling, first of all, to God be the glory. We thank God more than anyone for getting Brittany out of there.
Yes.
But my main point is that, and I listen to you guys daily, and earlier Larry was talking about how we need to get the Black voice out, listen to Black radio. Mm-hmm. Lord knows, I really wish there was some Black news out there that we can watch on television, because no one has, everyone don't have SiriusXM.
Right.
They can't get Urban View.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys be spitting it. Y'all be spitting it. I mean, the truth, the stuff about the Edgar Meggers University, all that stuff is huge for me in the Black community, but it's not on a huge national scale like CNN and all those. So I know that takes money, but I just wish you guys were somewhere where we can just watch y'all all day and all night on television to get the word out. So I done bought subscriptions for 3 of my friends just so they can listen to Urban View.
Wow.
And get the real, So,
yeah. Thank you so much for your support, Mark. And I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, the Black voices, the Black perspective is few and far in between on a national, news media scale. I think you do have outlets like Roland Martin Unfiltered. Byron Allen just bought the Griot. They have some programming there as well as digitally. They're out there, but they're not amplified as much as a clip here and there from a CNN or MSNBC. But I am so grateful to be a part of the SiriusXM and specifically the Urban View family, because we don't hear our perspectives enough. I mean, I don't know if you saw the press conference, but immediately after Mrs. Cheryl Griner spoke, the media just started yelling out questions about Paul Whelan. And I'm not saying those aren't legitimate questions, but nobody was really as concerned about Brittany Griner or Cheryl Griner in that moment. And so that's why it's important that we have our voices to really center our experiences when we're talking about the news. The line again is 866-801-8255. Thank you, Mark. Let's go to Cheryl in Tennessee. Hey, Cheryl.
Hey, Reecie. Girl, I was excited to hear your voice this morning.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I just love when you and Clay did the thing. Was it Monday night? Yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah, we did election night coverage. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I just love you on Clay constantly and your words and your language that you use, but also about Brittany. She's been in Russia. You know, she's been coming to Russia to do basketball for 9 years. So they were very familiar with her and all her habits. See, one thing I've learned from listening to all of you all on Urban View, all the way down until it repeats with Madison at night with me. Madison had Patty Austin on there. She goes to Russia every year. She made the comment, when you get off that plane in Russia, they've already know everything about you. They got your complete dossier. And cameras are following you everywhere you go and do in Russia. So she said, don't think they don't know anything about you when you get off that plane with Russia. And I've kept that in the back of my mind all the time. And she's been going there for 20-some years to perform. And she said, you see something going on while you performing? They asked her, did you see anything? She says, no, you didn't see anything. Or else you won't be coming back home.
Right.
And also about this Christmas. That's one of my favorite songs for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
Which one?
This Christmas with, what's his name? Chris Brown singing. You know, when they did the movie.
Yeah, okay,
movie. Yes. That comes on. And also, I love Mariah Carey. When she performed at Macy's Day Parade. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, I love her. She's the queen of Christmas. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah, I think we can agree on that. And I just love her when she did her little. Of course, my son, that's his wife in his mind. You know, she's a lot younger than him, but, you know, he loves Mariah. And next thing I wanted to bring up about why can't we find out more information about the young lady that died in Cabo? I hear about the Idaho people all the time, but the Cabo lady in North Carolina.
Yeah. Shanquella Robinson.
And open, you know, that should be a open and shut case.
It should be. And I have heard some reporting that there's been an arrest made, but you know, it's, I don't know how credible the outlets are. And so I definitely feel like we need to re-up on what's going on with Shanquella Robinson's story. But thank you so much, Cheryl, for your comments. And we're going to get to the Christmas music part in just a moment. Thank you. And let's go to Kramer in Arizona, and then we're going to head to a break in just a moment. Hey, Kramer.
Hey, Miss Reecie. First and foremost, let me say I am a fan of yours.
Oh, thank you.
You guys as much as I possibly can. Now you guys do a great job. Because of you guys, we are now informed. That's the most important thing. But I would like to say that I'm glad Brittany Griner is finally coming home. And you hear all the deterrent talk about why her over Paul Whelan. I would say this. I know why Brittany Griner was in Russia to play basketball. Has anybody ever told us why Paul Whelan was in Russia? And what was he doing over in Russia?
Well, what the story is that he was there for a wedding. That is the story. I don't know the veracity of that story. I'm not trying to cast aspersions. I'm just saying that's what he was there for.
Don't that nobody either, but you go from wedding to espionage? I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying. But, you know, at the end of the day, my question is, why didn't Trump get him out? Why didn't Trump get Trevor Reed out? Where was the outcry when Trump was in office for holding that president accountable for getting these folks released? Because he's been there for several years. His detention started under Trump as well as Trevor Reed. So all this energy about why Brittany Griner is getting released, where was that energy towards Trump and why he didn't do anything? He did nothing to get them released. Final comment, Kramer, and then we're going to head to a break.
Remember, Putin is Trump's buddy.
Absolutely. Yes.
So you think if anybody would have had a lot of pull, that character would have been able to call his buddy over and say, hey, we need to let these people go. We're going to do this, that, and the other, and the third, and everybody's going to be happy. But it didn't happen. And as soon as you allow a black woman to come home, everybody's got a frenzy about it.
Ooh,
Well, Miss
ain't that
Reecie,
the
thank you
truth?
for taking my call.
Thank you for calling in. And that's what I want to know. What happened to Black Lives Matter? What happened to that? Now all of a sudden the Black life ain't worth that of another life. Come on, let's keep the same energy. But when we return from the break, I'm going to get to this Christmas music segment because I'm telling y'all, I am so excited about it. I was up late. I did a little MP3 because I can show you better than I can tell you. And I want you guys to hear it and call in after the break with your favorite Christmas music, 866-801-8255. This is Reecie Colbert filling in for Heather B. We'll be right back. Hey, Heather B Live crew. It's your girl, Reecie Colbert. This Christmas is for you, Cheryl, because that's your favorite Christmas song. I am so happy to be with you all today. We've been talking about the fabulous, fantastic, joyous news that Brittany Griner is on her way home. It's not fake news. It's not a maybe she's on a plane. President Biden actually shouted out the UAE for helping facilitate the actual flight of Brittany Griner out of Russia. So we are celebrating that today. We are rebuking the folks that have a problem with it. You're free to call in with your thoughts on that, 866-801-8255. But before we get back to that, I have to talk about one of my favorite topics. My recipe contribution for Soul Food Thursday today is a playlist of Christmas music because I love Christmas music. It sparks joy. It's food for my soul. And I know that we all hear some of the same stuff over and over and over and over again. So I want to introduce you to some versions of some of our favorites that you might not have heard, to a little upbeat. This is the upbeat Christmas list. So, you know, you can get a little two-step on, do a little electric slide or whatever the line dances are. And it just has a nice little jazzy, not jazzy literally, but like R&B, you know, a little turn up flavor to it. So go on ahead and cue the track that has the snippets of the Christmas playlist that I am gifting to you all today. Heather B Live Proof. Okay, you tell me what you think about my playlist. 866-801-8255. I'm going to give y'all the specific songs in a moment. But first, ladies, y'all, you let me know. Were you grooving a little bit to my playlist? You can be honest.
Did I hear Gucci? Did I hear Gucci around that playlist? I loved it, but I feel like you missed one.
I did what I missed.
Boys to Men, Violent Night, Late Snow has got to be one of the greatest Christmas songs of all time.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And it is 100% in my rotation. I was trying to give songs that people I had to put in Jesus is the Reason for the Season. But other than that, I tried to give some songs and versions people didn't know. But I bow down to Boys to Men, Let It Snow. And I actually they did a performance of it on TV One last year, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And I have that little version saved on my phone because that was really good too. So I agree with you. Stephanie, what do you think I left off? What do you have as a Christmas bop that's not on the list?
No, I loved your, I didn't know a lot of the ones that you played, like those versions, but my favorite Christmas song, aside from Mariah Carey, because I think that's on top of everyone's list or in the top 10 at least, but I love Last Christmas. It's originally by George Michael, but every version I've heard is usually good.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I know that one, so let me write George Michael Last Christmas down. I'm learning something.
It's so good, that one.
Is it? Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Amina, what about you?
I, like Stephanie, definitely with Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas. But there's so many versions of this Christmas, which is definitely my favorite. I can't pick which artist because they all sung it in their own way.
Right.
But definitely this Christmas.
You know, I had two different versions of this Christmas on this list as well. But before I give y'all the specific names and artists, let's go to Jocelyn in Arkansas. Hey, Jocelyn.
Hi, Reecie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me quite well? Sorry, my headset was a little off.
Yeah, you sound perfectly clear.
Awesome. I love all those movies. All that music. I absolutely do. I adore Christmas. I love Christmas music. My personal favorites are a couple of oldies. I love Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto.
Oh, I love
by
that
James
one.
Brown. That's one of my favorites. And then I absolutely love the Mistletoe Jam by Luther. I love that song every year it comes on. I just, Luther, he really can sing. I was gonna ask you, because you love Christmas music, I had bought I bought a game last year that I heard on Urban View called Black Holiday Trivia. Have you played that game?
I haven't. That sounds like fun though.
Oh yeah, I bought it. I heard on Loretta Daniel Favors show last year, and I bought it. It has all the Black Christmas music, and it does Black Christmas movies as well. And it has been so much fun to play because I love the music, so I just play with my friends. We test it. We listen to our Christmas music every December, and then we get together with some cocktails and play the game. So I was going to suggest it for you as well because I know I heard it on Loretta Daniel Favors show last year, and I bought it for my family, and it's just really fun. A little card game for you to play during the holidays, and if you love Christmas music, that's the game for you.
Okay, Jocelyn, I'm literally writing down notes because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know Mistletoe Jam from Luther. I love me some Luther, but I've had my little playlist for about 20 years now, and I don't venture too far. So if y'all calling, I'm taking notes from y'all too on what Christmas music I'm missing out on. But thank you so much, Jocelyn, for that. Sharon, I see you. I'm gonna get to you in 2 seconds. I just want to let y'all know these are the songs that you just heard in my little clip, my little playlist. This is my soul food recipe contribution for today's Christmas music. And it started off with PJ Morton, Winter Wonderland. It had a nice little reggae flavor to it. Then you had the Braxtons, which is, of course, you probably didn't hear it in that clip, but Tony singing her head off, Tamar singing her head off. But it's the Braxton Family Values Christmas album, and that song was This Christmas. Then you had Tamar Braxton, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, has a little twerk in it. All I Want for Christmas is PJ Morton's take on Mariah Carey's song. So we love Mariah's version, but I like PJ's take on it as well. Then we had Christmas Tree, the remix by Lil Duval featuring Monica. And Lil Duval, he says some problematic stuff every now and again, but his music does it for me. Then you had Ella Mai for This Christmas. Now it's called This Christmas, but it's not This Christmas that we all know and we sing. It's a little different version of it. Then I don't know if you saw, I slipped in some Gucci Mane up in there. Gucci Mane does Christmas music, if you didn't know, and that song was 12 Days of Christmas. Then we had Christmas Party for the Homies. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but Death Row Records had one of the best Christmas albums of all time, like hands down. Every song on there. They had Snoop Dogg singing Santa Claus is Coming to the Ghetto. So Josh, I know that's your song. Check out Snoop Dogg's version of it. And it was Snoop Dogg and Daz Dillinger, the Dog Pound, did Santa Claus is Coming to the Ghetto. But this song was Christmas Party for the Homies. I had This Christmas again with PJ Morton, had some New Orleans bounce on it. I love a little bounce. Big Freedia had a Christmas music album for a while there, but I don't know what happened to it. It got taken off of my streaming platforms, but check that out too. Then we had to end it off with Kirk Franklin and the Family. Jesus is the Reason for the Season. So I gave you a lot of two steps. I gave you some bounce, some reggae, a little bit of everything, some twerk, some West Coast. All of that is up in this Christmas music playlist. So go ahead and turn up and have a good Christmas holiday to that. I'm going to get to Sharon, and then we're going to get back to the Christmas music topic. Hey, Sharon in Georgia.
Hi, everyone, especially to you. Hello, and I like all Christmas songs.
Oh, yeah, you do. That's good. Anyone specifically?
I like Boyz II Men. And I like the whinings, CC and the brothers. Oh, beautiful. It's beautiful. But I like them all.
Okay.
And I'm so glad. God works in a mysterious way if we just be patient and keep on marching towards the victory. Now, Russia is finally let that young lady out.
Right.
So God, let her shine and let her come home.
Yes.
Be a St. Paul for the United States women of color. And Lord, let her be blessed. And you doing a good job. Thank y'all for the shout out. And bless you all.
Thank
we are
you.
women of color.
Bless you too.
Women.
Bless you too, Sharon. And let me just say another thing too about Brittany Griner. This was not an inevitable result, and it was a hard fought result. And I don't think that a lot of people appreciate how much work and advocacy went into it. I mean, there was pressure to even get Sherelle Griner a meeting with the White House, because originally when Brittany Griner's case came about, there was concern that if it rose to the level of the White House, that would make her even more of a bargaining chip and a political prisoner for Russia. But due to pressure, I'll shout out Angela Rye. I'm sure there were so many people that were behind it as well, but Angela Rye and Sherelle Griner really, pushed out the hashtag We Are BG and really raising their profile of that. And, Sherelle Griner, when she spoke, she shouted out the president, Vice President Kamala Harris, the entire national security team, Governor Bill Richardson. I remember when that was reported, that was obviously a good sign. So everybody who cared, because people commenting now, the naysayers, they didn't care when she was detained. They didn't care to advocate for her release. But everybody who had anything to do with it, salute, because Brittany Griner is coming home, and we're just so thankful for that. But the Lions, I'm so excited that the Lions are blowing up on this Christmas music top. Join the conversation, 866-801-8255. Let's go to Crystal in Chicago. Hey, Crystal.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I was too busy trying to find a song for you that got Reecie in it. And I know, well, Drew Hill, These Are the Times, but I was trying to find you something else. He said, follow you like Reese's Pieces.
Oh, okay. I like that.
So while I was looking for some music for you, I heard you playing Tamar, that Winter Lover's Land. That's my CD right there.
Ooh, isn't that a CD? Oh my goodness. Every song, I love it. What's your favorite song from that one?
My favorite song, I think, is the Little Drummer Boy. The way it come in, it's just that bass.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a part of Away in a Manger. So once she sing that part, I turn it right up for Little Drummer Boy.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm sorry.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's my song too.
Yeah. I actually drive around town with my cute Chris. I couldn't wait for the holiday to hit so I can blast that in the car.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, have you ever heard of Rye and Whitney, RAII? They're a married couple.
Okay.
They have a Christmas album called A Rye and Whitney Christmas, but when he sings "Oh Come Ye Faithful," it's like my hands go up automatically.
Okay, I'm taking note of that.
Yes, oh come all ye faithful. Now I don't know what it is about how he sings the song, but it kind of takes me into worship.
I know that's right. Hallelujah. Okay, I'm taking note of that. Thank you so much, Crystal.
You're welcome.
Let's go to Mona in Jersey. Hey, Mona. Mona, are you there? Okay, we're gonna
Can you hear me, Reecie?
Oh yeah, I hear you now. Okay, hey Mona.
Oh, hey Reecie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so proud of you. You do such a wonderful job. I love hearing you all the time, and now you're like bouncing all over different shows. So it's so great to hear you. Good job, Reecie.
Oh, thank you so much, Mona.
So I have a few Christmas songs, but one that kind of sticks out just now is CeeLo Green's "Mary Did You Know." I love Whitney Houston's is one of my favorite CDs for Christmas. The One Wish.
Yes, that's a good one.
The whole CD is fantastic. And then one of my throwbacks would be Santa Cruisin' with Grover Washington.
Okay. All right. Nice little variety there. Yes, I like it. I'm taking notes because CeeLo Green, Mary, Did You Know? I have to hear that because I mean, CeeLo can sing low key. Like a lot of people don't know that, but I know he got some kind of creative spin on it. So thank you so much for that, Mona.
It will take you to church, just like the last caller said.
Okay, sounds good.
He has a beautiful rendition. Thank you.
All right.
Wonderful day.
Oh, you too, Mona. Thank you. Let's go to Diane in California. Hey, Diane.
Hi, Reecie. I'm calling in because you're talking about Christmas music, and I absolutely love Christmas music. My favorite song is Silent Night with the Temptations, basically old school. And I want to second the caller that you had on about the game Black Holiday Trivia. I heard it on Urban View last year, bought the game, couldn't wait to play it last year, Christmas with my family, pulled it out again Thanksgiving, and we've been playing it since Thanksgiving. So I can't believe you haven't played the game. It's all about Black culture, Black music, Black movies for the holiday season. So all these songs that we're talking about, this person that is a Black woman created the game, and she was on Urban View, and it's amazing. I'm like, wow, this woman was so smart with the questions that she's asking about all of our favorite Christmas movies and music. It's amazing. So you've got to play the game if you have not played it already. I highly recommend it.
As soon as we get off this air, I'm gonna go order that game because that's two people calling in and vouching for it. And we got to support Black-owned products. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Diane.
You're welcome, and put that Temptation song on. It'll take you to church as well. Thank you. Oh,
yeah. You cannot go wrong with the Temptations. Okay. My husband, actually, his favorite Christmas song is the Temptations as well. And I learned that last year. I said, really? That was news to me. So I'm with it. Temptations gets a thumbs up in my house. Let's go to Tyranny in Florida. I hope I said your name. You are more than welcome to correct me if I'm wrong.
You did. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I'm so excited to hear your voice for many reasons. So let me just sideways. I love the conversation that you and Clay have politically. I love the way you break it down and put us in check. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
I confer with the lady. You must hear CeeLo Green's. It is amazing. He can, you said it. He can sing. So you got to listen to that. And my two I'm going to add is Kim has an album called What Christmas Means. It's amazing.
Yes.
And then an old school one, but I don't know the name of the artist. It's called Gee Whiz It's Christmas.
Okay. I'm going to have to look that up.
Somebody will look it up. I just asked my husband. He didn't know the artist, but it's so kind of like the old school Diana Ross. Real boppy.
Okay. Yeah.
So thank you. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so much. And I agree with you on Kim. He almost made the list, but I was trying to keep it upbeat. But he has that song with Let It See, and it's a little jazzy. So it's more upbeat than normal for Kim, but it didn't make this cut, but it should make everybody's cut if you have more than 10 songs. So thank you so much, Tyranny.
You're welcome.
Let's go to Donna in Connecticut. Hey, Donna.
Oh, hi, Reecie. Oh, how excited I am to talk to you. This is right up my alley. This is a song that Vaughn Harper used to play on BLS all the time. It's Merry Christmas, Darling by with Daryl Took singing it. My husband is the artist, and what an opportunity to try to share it. Merry Christmas, Daryl, DARRYLTOOKES. You can Google it. It's jazzy. It's everything. And I just wanted to share that.
I love that. Go ahead and promote your husband, girl. I like that. I'm writing it down right now so I can Google it.
He is everybody's famous artist. The only problem is he's not a household word. And he's worked with everybody. He's the director of FAMU, musical director of their program, their musical program. And he's everything to everybody, musically especially. So I just wanted to share that today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Donna. He's going to be a household name now on Urban View because you called in and shared it with us. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's go to Herman in Georgia. Hey, Herman.
Hey, Reecie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So look, let me just say this, Reecie, every time you're on the radio, I always stop what I'm doing. I always have to listen to you. So I love your opinions and your perspective. So kudos to you. I love listening to you on the radio. So
thank you.
So keep coming
much.
back. Keep it coming.
Oh, I am. You tell Urban View, keep me coming. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So look, here are a couple of my favorites. I really like the ones that you mentioned on your list, but In addition to that, let me just say my all-time favorite. I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, the Jackson 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a must listen to whenever you can. Also, What Do the Lonely Do at Christmas? I forgot the name of the person that sings that song, the lady.
Yeah, but it
that
sounds
one is
familiar.
great.
The songs, I have it in the back of my head, but that is a good one. Uh-huh.
Yes, and then finally, here's an underrated Christmas album that everybody should check out that you can just play and just listen to the whole thing. I think it's only 8 or 9 songs, but Babyface. Babyface's
yes.
Christmas album. Yes, he does Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, et cetera, et cetera. So that's an underrated one. So everybody should check that one out.
Oh yeah, and I just saw Babyface last Saturday in concert. I'm telling you, I know everybody behind me was mad because I was up on my feet the whole time singing and dancing. So yes, anything Babyface, I'm 100% there. So thank you so much, Herman. Look, we only have 3 minutes left. So I'm gonna roll through these callers. Just give me your list and we're gonna go on to the next person. All right, starting with Jay in Ohio. Hey, Jay.
Hey, how you doing, Reecie? Good to hear you. Hear your voice and see you on the other platforms. I got 2 songs that are really, I think you should put it on your list. Everybody should listen to. One of them is called Christmas Time Is Here by Boney James. It's one of the baddest Christmas songs out, jazz Christmas songs I've ever heard. And the other one is Holy is the Lamb by Alita Adams.
Okay, we got you. Thank you so much, Jay. Let's go to Jay in Atlanta. Hey, Jay. Again, another Jay.
So 3 songs. A Few Good, Silver Bells by A Few Good Men. It's Christmas by Ledisi. And Sweet Little Jesus Boy by Tyreek.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much for that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get to all of y'all because we down to 2 minutes. Yeah, we're down to 2 minutes. But okay, really quick. 15 seconds. Walter, Connecticut. Did I already get to you? I feel like I did. No, Walter, are you there?
Hi, Reecie.
Hey.
How you doing, Reecie? Hey, Reecie, you gotta check out.
Walter, you're breaking up. But tweet me. Oh, are you back? Okay, there you go. Got it.
Alexander O'Neal.
Okay.
His album.
Uh-huh. All right. Thank you, Walter. You're breaking up, so we gotta run. But LaQuinn, sorry I didn't get to you, Maurice, Dennis, but thank you all. I was so worried that this topic was gonna flop. I was like, am I corny for loving Christmas music this much? But y'all made me feel so good that y'all love Christmas music just as much as I do. So I am signing off in a second. Oh, right now. But stay tuned because Clay Kane is up next and I will be on Clay Kane with you. Thank you, Amina, Yaya, and Stephanie. Bye-bye. Urban View family, Heather B Live.